Before we jump into the film, my first question is, what was your first job in the movie and TV industry?
I had done some more documentary type stuff, but as far as film, like my first film was Return to the Hiding Place. And it's a beautiful, amazing, incredible film, true story, based on a true story. And it had been a story that had influenced my life early on. And so it was incredible to get that role. And it's very unexpected. I was thinking about this earlier today. The director just basically saw me and was like, I think you'd be amazing for this role. And that was my first audition, my first role. And yeah, it was really a gift to be a part of something that was world changing and life changing to tell that story.
It's a little bit different. I mean, obviously you play parts and you do your job and stuff like that, but being a part of something meaningful is obviously always elevated, right?
Right. Yeah, and it is my favorite thing to do, honestly, in film. It's kind of what keeps me here in some ways is just, that it is an amazing platform for changing the world. And, how are you going to do that? And kind of what are those steps of action to get you to a place where you have a voice that can actually change people's lives?
You reprised the role of Kate in the upcoming film Fortress Sniper's Eye. What initially attracted you to the role?
Action. Action and stunts. I mean, the whole thing was fun. And she's a double agent. And one thing about film that I really enjoy is just you get to live multiple lives in one, and it's kind of like, well, if you're having a bad day in that life, jump into this one. So anyway, it's fun. It's exciting, and it encompasses so many experiences, that I've had and whatever else. And then when you get to add the element of stunts and stunt work and athleticism, it's my favorite because in all of life, like athletics, I just love it. Like it's part of what I am, who I am, what I do. I I am always competition ready, even though I'm not competing. I compete only with myself, but it's great because then I can, there's never ever an end to the competition. But the point being that it's fun when I can use, something that is important to me in my daily life in a film. So it just makes it that much more authentic of a role for me.
What kind of preparation did you do for the fight sequences and the action sequences for the film?
As soon as I get on set, if it's an action film, I connect with the stunt coordinator, and that becomes my best friend. And just such an awesome stunt team. They are definitely stunts. They're the unsung heroes of film so much. I think they just really, put themselves on the line every day and work so hard. And they don't get the spotlight, and they should. So anyway, it's been so much fun for me to be able to work with them. Just such great people. And the stunt coordinator on this last series was so awesome to work with and just so good at training me. And every time I got the slightest second, I mean, between takes or, if they were turning the camera on somebody else and I have 20 minutes, I would like skip lunch and be like, help me, can you help me? Like, help me with this sequence or this choreography or punching or whatever it is. So yeah, stunt coordinator is my best friend.
Speaking of that, is that something that you would see yourself maybe getting into later on down the road?
Stunts.
Like stunts and stunt coordinating, maybe even helping others and stuff like that?
I mean, I help others in all of life, every day of my life, but I think I actually like to be in front of the camera and do my own stunts. So I like that combination, but I'm also completely a builder. Like I want to build other people. Like I am your biggest fan always. And that goes back to that you can't compete with me because I want you to win. Like I think confident people are builders, right? People who care, make a difference in other people's lives. So in that way, I would definitely be open to it. But I do love the aspect of actually being, a lead or whatever, and then also doing my own stunts. And I think I always tell the producer, the directors, I'm like, you can't double me. I have to do my own stunts. And
It's part of the deal, right? You know what I mean?
it
It's part of
works.
the deal.
It's worked well so far. It's every film I've done that there's action. I always am um, I do all my own stunts.
That's awesome. What was it like to work next to Jesse Metcalfe?
Jesse, oh my goodness, so much to say about Jesse. He's so fun. But yeah, he's an incredible professional, very, very focused on his job, really, wants to do a good job, and it shows in his work. I had obviously seen him before. And so it's always fun when you know somebody in one dimension and then to get to know them personally. And yeah, he was just fun off camera and just very talented on camera.
I know you recently launched is it My Impact, right?
Yes, my
Yeah.
impact.
Tell me about it. Tell us about it. What can we get from that?
Okay, yes, my logo is a little bit confusing, but if you know what it is, it has so much meaning and I love it. So it's like my, and then there's a one M, impact. So it's sort of to signify that one person can change a million lives and never underestimate the impact of one. And the focus being that, whatever it is that you bring to life, you are significant, and the significance of you is irreplaceable, just like your fingerprint. Um, that only you can touch the world like you do. And really honing in on that space and what it is that you see through the lens of, um, your perspective can change lives like no one else. And I think when you make that conscientious shift from just being like self-serving, self-centered, always focused on, what it is that, and even pain, like pain is a very, very real thing. And when you can make the focus to think like, somebody else is probably experiencing this, how can I change someone's life? It's mentally, emotionally, and physiologically healing to you. And so it's just a beautiful cycle of, what is love? What does love look like? And what is the ripple effect of that? And it's pretty awesome when the chain of love just circles right back to you because you're healed in the process of, changing somebody else's life. So I am just trying to create a platform where people can talk about things that matter. So
Yeah, I
that's
love that. And doing my research, I was like, yeah, it's an incredible thing that you're building, and I love it a lot. So it's amazing.
thank you. And as a result of that, actually, so I've done humanitarian work at home and abroad, and it's such a gift to be able to highlight heroes, right? Those people who are truly heroic, not because they're on a big screen, not because they're famous for something, not because they wore whatever crazy shoes or something, but like because they genuinely are loving. They're loving invisibly, like they're doing the hard things with nobody watching, no accolades, nothing else. And to be able to tell their story and inspire other people with that and then turn their, 10 cents that they just changed the world with into $10. It's been an amazing and rewarding process. And especially finding indigenous organizations, because I'm always very careful with um, finding things that are sustainable, that elevate the person and country so that it's sustainable. And yeah, it's just a beautiful, rewarding experience.
Are there any upcoming projects that you can tell us about?
Mm. So many actually. I have a lot, but the tell you about it part is a little tricky sometimes. But a couple more films that are in the works coming down the pike with just some really amazing casts and that I'm excited about. But we'll see. This industry is like honestly nothing until you're on set, so you never know. And you're not supposed to talk about it, probably because of that. Because you end up being like, oh yeah, that thing that happened that didn't happen. But yes, lots of really fun potential projects. One thing that I have been doing currently, which is really kind of awesome and a gift for me, is just I've been working with a world famous sculptor, um, Mr. McDonald, Richard McDonald. And so in the meantime, since I'm always staying competition ready and fit and all of that kind of thing, to be the muscle study slash muse for art that is timeless, that will live on for thousands and thousands of years, has been just a fun kind of project that I never even thought about doing. And here I am. So it's kind of awesome because it's one of those things where you're like, I didn't even know to dream about this. And here I am doing it. So that's been really fun. And just from an artistic standpoint, Mr. McDonald is unbelievably talented. And it's just like you become part of when you look at famous sculptors and sculptures and artwork from thousands and thousands of years ago, it's so amazing to be like, oh my goodness, like I am now part of that, like thousands of years from now, people will look at that and be like, what an incredible piece. And because he's just that good. And so that's been a gift and really fun.